What is up, guys? As you might know, I just got top 4 at the Brisbane Regional Championship. I'm recording this video from my hotel room because I'm not going to be home for a little bit. So you guys got to bear with me. So I'm going to talk about the process a little bit. I played Isaiah's 60-card Gardevoir list. I'll go through the list in a second. But I'm going to talk about the process because that's, I think, a very important thing for you guys to learn as I'm going through things. So after going into UIC, I basically just got a deck handed to me by the guys. It was Goldengo. And then from UIC to Stockholm, I didn't really touch my Pokemon cards, which I don't really do a lot in the format, but I was pretty disinterested in the format. I felt like this format's been really long with these and whatever, and I was really just looking forward to post-rotation more than anything. So I come to Stockholm, I was like pretty dead set on playing Lugia. Isaiah and John and Zach just beat me up for like 2 days in a row. I've lost all faith in Lugia. I switched decks 6 times in like an hour. Went like Lugia, Miraidon, Gardevoir, Pult, like whatever, all around the map. And then I finished up with Dragapult, which I locked in. But then my luck was super terrible in Stockholm, where like round 1 got double donked by Cloth. And then like one of my rounds, I think the Stereo Edge game got really close. My pricing was really bad. And then against Lugia, my penultimate round where I got eliminated, I prized all 3 of my Dragapults, as you guys saw. Posted the list for you guys there in the Discord, the community Discord. It's in the description down below. If you want to talk to other people from the channel, just talk Pokemon, whatever. It's like all things Pokemon. It's a community, so you guys can join there. Anyway, that shill is done. So weekends, and I'm like pretty much regretting the decision. I don't know, you guys saw in the vlog that I was pretty much regretting not trusting Isaiah, not trusting Henry with the Gardevoir deck. So I get here to Stockholm, I do a bunch of stuff, and then I basically say, Isaiah, hey, like, what do I play? I'm pretty lost with this format. I pretty much feel like I trust you enough that whatever you tell me is fine. And he said, just play Guardy, bro. Like, you know you can outplay a lot of people. Like, I don't know why you do this to yourself. Like, just play a deck that gives you the best chance to win and showcase your skills as a player. And I said, sure. And then Isaiah was very, fortunately for me, also there when I needed him to ask questions about certain matchups, because obviously I didn't put the time in that he and Henry did. So super shout out to him and Henry. Obviously, like, the whole group as well, but the 2 of them really did carry me on this one, especially Isaiah carried me hard, and Rune. Shout out Pookie Rooney. But then so I lock in the Guardian list. I ask any changes. They say, nah, lock it in. So here's the list without further ado. 2 Gardevoirs. 4 of these beautiful Curlias that we're going to be saying goodbye to in just a second. 4 of these Ralts, I think these guys also rotate. Yeah, these guys are gone too. 3 Monkey Dory. And I know you guys are going to say, Rahul, what's going on here? I only have 1 of these. I only brought this. I didn't bring another monkey, so that's on me. The Dew, the Tail, the Flutter, the Key, the Cress. That's our supporting gang. That's like the A-team. No, that's a Suicide Squad. We got 4 Ionos, pretty staple. 2 Research, really liked the Research, really liked it, was really good. I think every time I played Guardy, fun fact, I think Research has been in my deck. I can't remember if it wasn't in my NIC deck or not, but I feel like Research was in my Guardy deck every single time I played Guardy, which is like kind of cool. 2 Arvin, 2 Turo. Oh my god, I'm dropping cards everywhere. 4 Poffin, 3 Vessel, a Secret Box to get all my goodies, 2 Artisan, 2 Ultra Ball, a Nest Ball, a Heavy Ball, 2 TM Evo, a TM Devo, 2 Stretcher, a Rod, E-Switch, wait, 2 Counter Crusher, 3 Dark Energies, and 6 Psychic Energies. Pretty standard list. Isaiah has great explanations for it. The format's over. I don't really need to explain this. E-Switch was really good. The list was pretty good. Didn't need boss ever. Didn't miss it. So tournament kicks off. I need to do well. I want to do well, right? Obviously, I have been on a slump. I don't even think I've been on a slump, right? Like, I was on a winning in the top 8 of UIC, and then I like almost made top cut in Miyagi and Fukuoka as well. Like, I don't think I'm actually on a slump. It's just mental is like bad when you do bad. Like 2-3 just sucks. So round 1, Archelodon. Not a matchup that I'm very practiced into. Game 1, I prized double Dark Energy, and I'm able to squeak it out at the very end. Game 2, things are going really well, but I prized double Curlia, and I remember I have to make like some really aggressive plays to kill his Dialga. He doesn't get the Thornton play off, but this is where like not having boss hurts me because I can't like take the Dialga off the board. So I have to make like a very different play, and then he ends up getting the V-Star attack off, taking a knockout and then taking my Gardevoir in the same turn, and I can't deal with his V-Star immediately. So I have to end up like I end up going Guardy. I remember scream tailing his Greninja, I think it was, or maybe one of the Duraludons, one of the Arcaludons. The Duraludon, sorry. And then I moved a bunch of damage to the active, then I turned my Guardy, and I had 2 colors in play now. So I made it so I could guarantee just knock it out and win the game, which is going to the next turn. So that was super cool. Round 1 start with a win. Round 2, it's Roaring Moon, a Power Glass. That is a terrible matchup for you guys if you didn't know, because they just put the Power Glass in the active, the Roaring Moon gets the thing going, and I'm just like, what do I do? So game 1, I held second like I'm supposed to, and then I just get bodied. He gets the Power Glass up and running. Turn 2, he's just gutting my board. He's got the KO on my 2 Curlias. Now the Greninja gets an energy back. Like, what do I do? So I lose that one typically. Game 2, I just throw up Klefki and the game ends. Like, I go first. I throw up Klefki, I push the Klefki, the game ends. He can't do anything, his Squawk doesn't work, his Greninja doesn't work, his just deck doesn't work. Game 3, he gets a pretty good start, but not a Power Glass start, so I end up setting up normally, and then I start doing, he ends up benching, so I go into Key anyway on turn 1. I don't open it, so I end up going into the Key, and just like, normally set up my board, go for the Evo turn 2. I'm thinking like if he gets to get through Key, he has to get like a Baby Moon set up right now, and he already Squawk ability, he has a Greninja on the board. He opened the Koraidon, I believe it was, and he already has Latias on board. So his board is like already really cluttered, where I'm just like, the last 2 slots on his board have to be like Baby Moon, Big Moon, for him to do anything. And then I'm like really far down at one point, and I make this like really good play where I go counter, I have to take 4 prizes in 1 turn. He has 1 prize left to take. So I own him to 1, counter catcher up the Latias, stretcher back the Klefki, all like some process of this is happening. Like I don't draw it all if I'm gonna sack, I promise. And I go Klefki, joust the Latias, putting it at 10. Move enough damage. I have to triple monkey that turn to put 90 on Rotom. And then he doesn't do anything. And then the next turn, I have a really crazy sequence where I like Turo, do a bunch of stuff, 4 monkey with an E-switch, knock out the Rotom, knock out the active, because I was also turn 3 of time in the situation. So at least I bought myself a tie in what that was a pretty bad matchup. And then I was pretty proud of myself on that one. So I'm 2-0. Round 3 is Ceruledge, same thing with a Power Glass. I go up against Nathan. Game 1, he just blows me up. He gets a turn 2 setup, turn 1 setup with Edge, and I just get blown up with the Greninja. They're playing Zamazenta V-Star, which lets them draw more cards, which is really cool. Game 2, I just push up the Key, and the game once again ends. Game 3, it's like a pretty checkmate board from Nathan. I can't really do much. I lose pretty quickly. He gets like the Jet Energy Greninja Power Glass turn 1, gets the Energy Acceleration, gets the next attachment. And then I really just can't establish a board. But I learned something like very quickly in this matchup where like I evoed too early, and that lost me the game. Because if I just go like 4 Ralts and I make them do it, like I make them do the Greninja because they already committed to it, then I can go Curler Evo, and I can just basically make 2 Gardevoirs right there. And my board is like really hard to take down. Because now I have 2 Gardevoirs, I'm going to put like monkeys into play now. And so like now my monkeys are really hard to take out as well. And it's very difficult for that deck to like get to like 15 energies in the discard as quickly as they think that is. So, but I do end up losing the set. So I'm 2-1. Then I hit Miraidon. And both games are pretty much just like a slaughter fest where I just like, the first game I think my opponent opted second and I pushed Key and the game ended. And they opted first, and then I had like a pretty middling start, and I had a pretty insane start, and the game just like, and then I pushed Key again to end the turn. Didn't have a way to Evo, so I just pushed the Key, and then I just won once again. So I go up to 3-1. Round 5 is Lugia. Lugia is a pretty okay matchup. Both games, my opponent gets off to a super early lead. I end up doing the same song and dance where it's like counter catcher. I went like snipe the Arcaps with Scream Tail after taking out the hands, put a lot of damage on the board, make it a fair enough game, and then I end up taking both games 2-0. So then I go up in Claw for round 6. My opponent flips over. They opt first, I believe, but they had like a really poor start, and they don't do anything. No, they opted second, and I just pushed the Key. I remember I literally just pushed the Key, and I was like, and so game 1 ends pretty quickly, and it's almost the exact same story in game 2, where they actually have a pretty good start, and they get to play the game, but I end up finding myself in a position where I can take like a 4-prize turn, and they just like can't go through the Guardy. Like it's an Iona to 1, like put 190 on the Phasandipity angle, like something like that, and then like I can clean up the game from there, which is exactly what I did. Basically, the game is like a lot easier if you just don't immediately die. And I did whiff like for 2 turns, I think, on stuff, but I just came back and won it. Then I went up against Lugia, so this is now my win into day 2. I go up against Lugia. She's actually playing really, really well. Game 1, it comes down to like a 1-prize game, and I have to hope that she whiffs a Jet Energy for 2 turns with like a 9-card hand, and I'm just like, ugh. And she does. She ends up whiffing. She has no supporter, nothing in that hand, so I end up getting bailed out and win game 1. Game 2, I set up like a really sick end game play, but I get really dizzy with it. So like I basically like start the turn with a monkey attachment effectively, and I end up messing up at the very end of the turn where like what I was trying to do is like kill the hands with monkey damage and then kill the Chinchino with monkey damage as well with Fluttermane attack. But I end up putting 3 energies on Guardy instead of 2. So I'm actually 1 energy short of attacking with the Fluttermane, which ends up costing me the game. Because she goes Aroma, Tails, get Lumineon, win the game. So super big blunder on my part, and then I'm like, I'm gonna get punished. I'm just gonna get like just bodied next game. Like I just am playing bad. And then game 3, she has like a full Lugia brick hand, where she has to Squawkabilly away, 2 Lugia V-Star and Ogerpon before she even gets to see the board. And then she draws into her hand. I end up going Badoo. She goes Jock. I go Iono, and just like set up my board. And then she whiffs the V-Star again, and then I blow up her lone Lugia. Then she goes Thornton into Lugia, and then like hits into my Guardy, I think, for 220. But that's like really not enough because at that point I'm just going to sweep the board. So I go to 6-1. Obviously at this point I'm trying to get some gravy on the cake because like you need 8 wins for cut. Everyone's talking about 7-1-2, 7-1-2 with ASIM, and I'm like, I don't think that's the case, guys. People are like thinking about IDing and putting themselves in those positions, and I'm like, I don't know the math, but I don't think that's correct. I go up against Andy, who's playing Lugia as well. He ends up making, I believe, top 4. So congrats to him. Both games came down to like the Giga Wire, where Andy just like was able to turn the corner. But by that, what I mean is like when I know them low, like super low to 1 or 2, it comes down to like Lugia needing to whiff at least 1 turn of like Iono or like off the Iono or something. And then I think one of the games I prized double Curlio. So it was like really frustrating for me because I couldn't find Curlias. So even though I was doing and he wasn't doing anything, he was reading the wind. So I killed his lone Lugia, but he had like a 15-card hand. So he just Thorntoned and then like killed me. And I was like, oh, that happens. So day ends, I go home. I sit down. It's like we finish at like 6, so it's super early. I'm 6-2. I have to win both. I end up getting every single person that's X2 or better's decks because I obviously care about making top 8. If I lose the first one of the day, like, whatever, man. Like, I got to figure it out, play for cash. But I'm obviously thinking about top 8. There's one name I don't want to hit, Jack Underwood, because Jack is playing Sacrilege. Gets to the venue, 8 o'clock, pairings go up, Jack Underwood. I'm playing against Sacrilege once again. I end up winning the flip, and the first game, I just shoved the key, and I'm in a really good position. And then when I break the lock to basically, like, set up the board, I miss, like, a Curlia. Like, I miss a bunch of Curlias. So he ends up, like, KOing my guy. So I end up having to use my 1 Curlia, make it a Guardy, and hit him with double Monkey to 250. And I have 20 on a Monkey. And I'm like, he's got, like, 4 energies in the discard. There's no shot I die here. I died that turn. Jack ended up going, like, Vessel, like, Ultra Ball, do a bunch of stuff, research into the blender, and I was like, oh my god. So then I push up something else. I remember, like, I pushed up something else, bought a turn, evoed back up my board, and then did a bunch of monkey shenanigans, and I won the game. But it was, like, really, really close. I played top cut today, so I'm tired. The second game, I ended up just getting blown out of the water. I feel like there wasn't really much going on. And the third game was like a super close back and forth where I end up just like opening key. It was a pretty slow start. And then I just have like a pretty perfect setup and I just run over him. So X2, 1 more to go. Hoping we can get there. Miraidon has been extra on opponent. Game 1, they win the flip. They opt to go first. They set up pretty okay, but they go generator for 1, generator for 1, generator for 0. And so I'm like, okay, all right. I have a pretty okay start. Get the Evo, gets a playable start. He takes 2 with the hands, and then I hit the hands, but there's no more Magnemite in play. There's no Pikachu in play, and they're bench locked. So I know I want to keep the bench locked if possible. They find boss that turn, KO something. I CC up the Fez and Dippity, Iono, kill both Fez and hands, and they just can't win, and the game ends. Game 2, I just get completely blown up out of the water. Like, I feel like there was a hands that I just couldn't touch it. There was like a lot going on that I just couldn't deal with. And there was like a Magneton already on the board. There was a Raichu on the board. And then I know them to 2. I needed to stick for 1 turn, and it ended up being like a boss was in their 2 cards. I was debating either it was either like, are the odds higher if I Iono them that they draw into Generator, attach off the Fez, and blow up my guy? Or are the odds higher that I put them at 2? I put the hands at 220. They can't activate Fez, so now they're stuck, and I have 4 prizes to take, so I can take them all next turn. And I thought I banked on that because I was just like, I don't think the Raichu play is feasible. Or it is more feasible, I think, because Morano just gets you out, and they only saw 1 generator at this point in the game. So I just did that play, and then my opponent just showed me the boss, and I was like, sick. Then game 3, I went Ralts Pass, and I was like, I'm gonna get donked. The game's over. They went like generator, whiff, attached to Raikou, and I was like, oh my god, I am saved. And then I went into Evo play. They couldn't find a retreat pivot, so they got stuck, and there's another energy on the Raikou now. And then I just go up through my board, do everything. I don't even kill the Raikou, I'm pretty sure. I think I put like a monkey down, and they boss my monkey and kill it for some reason. Don't even know why. I didn't even have a dark on it, I'm pretty sure. And then I just go bench another monkey, E-switch off the Ralts, go into Guardy, like basically move the thing into Guardy, accelerate the energies, evolve up to... I have like 4 Curlias now in play. Like, I'm actually just like in a big chilling spot. And then the game just progresses from there. Like, I have Screamtail, I have this. Like, I have a ton. Like, they have to use Raichu as their next KO. I take 4 prize cards that turn, going to 1 because I don't care. I feel like I'm just in such a good spot. So now I'm in top 8. Feels awesome. Our asymmetric standings go up. Everyone's like, oh, you're X2. You'll be fine. You don't have to play asymmetric. Liars. Standings go up, and I'm just dead center of asym at like 9th seed. And I'm like, yeah, guys, sick. So I'm up against Gerard, who's playing Paul Nor. We're waiting. There's deck checks going on. There's like an hour of deck checks, I guess, at this point. They give us like a lunch break, I guess. And so like 30 minutes in, I'm like chilling, talking. Judge comes over and says, hey, your opponent is... you're advancing to top 8. I said, hey, can I ask why? They said, no. I said, cool. I respect that. Gerard comes over after. He's talking to me. He says, like, hey, they deck checked me yesterday. I cleared deck check. They deck checked me today. And his deck was not matching his list. A couple cards off. Like 2 cards off. It was Paul Noir. So maybe he made like some candy changes, the Noir line changes, something like that. But it was significant enough that the judges felt like it was removable from the tournament. And Gerard's like, he's like, I'm not upset. Like, I know the matchup's bad for me anyway, but the problem is they should have caught it yesterday. And I'm like, I agree with you. They should have caught it yesterday. Obviously, a slip-up that happens, but hopefully there's some justice for Gerard, because like I think a match loss was fine. I don't think a DQ needed to be happening. But anyway, I advanced to top 8. I'm like, okay, I'll take the freebie going to top 8. So now I'm in top 8. I'm up against Gardevoir. First seed, Gardevoir. He's got something really interesting. Cofagrigus EX. Cofagrigus EX, for those guys who don't know, has 260 HP and does 110 to an active and 52 a bench guy. And so basically the idea is that they have double Monkey Dory, so they can always just blow up what's in your active as an attacker and kill a Monkey Dory on your board, because they can go double Monkey Dory and do that, which is really annoying. So game 1, he prizes it, and he chooses to go second, and he whiffs the Evo. So my turn 2 is like Curlier research, so I'm big chilling. I get ahead, I stay ahead. I think my first knockout was with Fluttermane for 2 things, and so once that happens, like I'm just so far ahead, and I'm just not giving the lead back. And then I start like Screamtailing Curlius. Game 2, he shows the Manaphy, sets up like a pretty perfect board. I can't deal with the Cofagrigus that turn. And then he goes into Cofagrigus, and I'm like I'm desperately trying to set up a Devo play, but it's not working, and I just lose. Like, I just get absolutely waxed. Like, I lose double Curlia because he has boss, and then I lose like Monkey Dory plus like Fluttermane or something. And I was like, oh my god, this is so bad. Game 3, I missed the Evo, so I am in a really bad spot. He misses anything on the return. Wonderful. I do a bunch of stuff. I get like a bunch of Curlias into play the next turn, draw a ton of cards, back to him. 1 Curlia, I think, or 2 Curlias into play. Board is disgustingly bad. Badoo active, Monkey Dory bench, Yamasked bench, Manaphy bench, double Curlias. And I'm like, this board is bad. This is a terrible board. So then I basically research away like a bunch of cards, because I'm just like, I need to kill this Yamask. Like, this turn, and all my psychics are in my hand. I cannot afford to Iono this. So I do all that. I get to the crest. I crest KO the Yamask, get it off the board. He responds with a Screamtail KO on my guy. I end up responding with a Fluttermane KO, taking that and a Curlia. Then He brings back the Amask. With a Bravery Charm this time, I end up just KOing the active whatever he uses to attack me. I think it was a Badoo maybe. No, not a Badoo, it was something else, but I end up taking that knockout on that. And then the following turn, I set up for a kill the Badoo and then kill a Ralts on his board with kill the Badoo and kill the Manaphy with everything. With multiple Monkey Dories, with Cresselia, whatever I need to do. So I get that done. Advance to top 4. I'm up against Moon. That's Tim. Tim's a great guy. He's got a good YouTube, whatever. Game 1, I win the flip. I don't get to push the key, though. I prize key, double Ralts, and heavy ball. And I'm like, yay! I think I had heavy ball actually in the deck, but I didn't see it. I had like box for Poffin instead. Pretty rough game all around, but I end up squeaking it out at the very end in game 1. Game 2, Tim sets up the Exodia board, and what I like to call that is like there's a Grid Ninja in the active with a water, a Power Glass, a water coming from the Power Glass in the discard, a Big Moon on the bench with a Dark Pesh energy on it, a Rotom with a Seal Stone, now a 9-card hand almost, a Squawk on the board, and I think there was a Luminion, or Baby Moon I think as well. So the board is like virtually locked for me to do anything, and my opening hand was like really, really weak. He did give me Town Store, so I could Evo into double Curlia, but at that point my board just gets blown up, and like, what do I do? Like, the game ends. So I like draw my card for turn, and I was like, my hand is not good enough to be saved. I'm going to concede. Let's go to the next game. Game 3, I basically have to sacrifice so many cards in my hand to push the key because my hand is really bad. And I end up getting 1 Curlia up and running, and I draw some cards with Curlia. He ends up going into the Baby Moon. Baby Moon bosses my Curlia and kills it. I'm like, what? And then I find another Curlia, and then he kills my Klefki, and then I have to Evo because he gives me Town Store. And then he kills he doesn't boss that turn, he just kills what's in my active. Goes to 3. I end up Ionoing low. Screamtail takes Squawk. He kills Screamtail. I end up making, and then he Pal Pads in the same turn. So 2 boss are back in the deck. It's like a 15 card deck with all 3 boss now remaining. I make a play where I go Screamtail, put the Pheasantipity at 190. So next turn I guaranteed have game if he doesn't find boss, and he doesn't unfortunately find boss. So super unfortunate that I was 1 turn off because I had Countercatcher available. I was going to see my whole deck effectively because he put a Pokestop in play for me. So a Pokestop plus like my research in hand or like an Arb, and I could draw into have some refinements, like all do it for me. But it was just really, really unfortunate that like I didn't find anything off like 3 turns of us like draw passing back and forth. And Tim ended up finding Town Store into whatever. I think I'm pretty sure the Seal Stone into the secret box. And then at that point, the game was like really tough for me. So anyway, that's the whole tournament report. Very grateful for have gotten into the top 4. I talked about my more raw emotions in the vlog a little bit. So you guys can check that out as well. Again, check out the community Discord. They're medal for me under this season and my career as well, I guess. Not a bad season. 1,500 points now. So I can't complain too much. I definitely like to win one soon. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.